What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you my exact mobility routine for going from being a stiff bodybuilder. No, I can't do that, can I? Because the ad revenue, baby. To a nimble CrossFitter.
The game getting pressed like articles. Yeah. And for delivery, take it where marshals go. They wanna limit me. I'm with a ceiling be. He been toe taking all of my enemies. I've been body bagging up the energy. I'm in the streets like a city with Mardi Gras.
First movement I'm going to do is going to be just sitting in a really uncomfortable position for me, which is that front rack, which we spoke about a couple of videos ago. So I said I just can't get into front rack position, which I still can't. Because there's too much tissue here and because my lats aren't flexible enough or mobile enough. And also, I think my body just needs to get used to being in that position so it's not as uncomfortable. Literally gonna roll into front rack. We wanna start in the most complete grip as possible to try and teach the body to get into that position, and that's the position we wanna be in. So I'm literally gonna roll in, and you can see already my wrists are trying to pull away with some load on the bar, and literally stand here whilst actively trying to drive my elbows forwards and in, and we'll just hold here for 60 seconds and it will be really uncomfortable. But that is the first drill that needs to be done over and over and over again so that I can then more comfortably get into this front rack position, because it's so important for a lot of these movements. What up, blood? This is not part of it. So next up, this is a PVC box lat stretch. Shout out to Patrick as well, of March On, because he is who's programmed a lot of this for me. So what we're doing here, again, is elbows inside of our wrists, keeping them in that front rack position, which we were talking about then. And then PVC literally stands for this PVC pipe. And then I'm literally just looking to roll back on my hips and stretch my lats out. He's made me laugh, right. Next one, you'll see this in practically any lat mobility routine, just literally a lat foam roller. So I'm gonna apply quite a lot of weight through my lats and literally just roll in it, in and out, down the lat, right into the armpit. Probably 10 times each side for a couple of sets. Keeping the palm up and that lat nice and lengthened. And then this is the last one. This is gonna be like a very deep lat stretch. Hopefully we're gonna open the lats right up here. So both sides, they're just gonna hang on to a rack and then cross over the legs, because I'm trying to open up all through here. So I'm kind of want my feet over here so that my body weight is really pulling all of my weight through the lat. And then if you can rotate a little bit to open up further, you're gonna feel a very deep stretch all throughout here. And really you wanna be holding this for like 60 seconds. Again, both sides, a few sets each side, a few times a week. And then something to think about with any stretch movements, so the PVC box lat stretch there, anything you're doing really in terms of upper body mobility, as you go through it, try and breathe yourself through. So it's gonna be really uncomfortable. So deep breaths in and out slowly throughout is gonna firstly desensitize you to that pain. That pain should come down from maybe a 7, 8 down to a 4, 5, maybe a 3. And then you can swap sides. But also, you should be breathing into that cavity. So for example, on that lat one, where I'm stretched right over, if I'm breathing into my rib cage, I'm gonna stretch the lat further, and the same goes with the PVC box stretch. So just something to think about there. Now we're gonna go on to ankle and kind of knee mobility for me. So a lot of this is adapted from Sonny Webster, and also the knees over toes guy. So a lot of it's quite painful for me, but let's get into it. Right, this is overall lower body and hip health for me anyway. So with running, obviously with barbell squatting again, quite a lot of lunging going on, I'm just finding that my glutes are probably the most limiting factor, and that's probably always been a problem for me. I think my glutes are probably something to do with why I get quite a lot of lower back issues as well. So tight glutes often wind up in various issues, and this is something I've neglected. So if you just find something to elevate your leg on, oh my God, and then try and get into a deep stretch in your glutes. You're gonna feel it all through here. And again, just 30 seconds each side. And what you wanna aim to do over time is be able to get your chest closer and closer to the pad, which obviously for me, I can barely do at the moment. It's absolute agony. Right, this one for me is probably, I think, the most important, or one of the most important, because I've had issues over the last couple of preps with my knees, and I can't get into deep flexion. So forcing my body into that position over time without feeling too much pain, I think is pretty key. I find that my knees are the most problematic at the moment with regards to doing these movements. So what I'm going to do here is spend like 10 seconds in until the pain's a bit too much, and then ease off. And as you can see, I'm supporting myself with my hand and the box so it's not too painful. And this last one, again, sitting as deep as I can into that squat pattern, up against the wall, my feet are as close to the wall as possible, and then I'm literally rotating up. I'm trying to walk my body across again. I'm just getting a really deep stretch in my groin, all through my hip flexors, and also obviously putting pressure through my knees again in this position, which feels pretty gnarly. So I'm not really an expert in mobility or mobility routines by any stretch of the imagination, but from my own research, this looks to be a very good place to start with regards to sorting out that front mat mobility. So obviously I've had help from Patrick on that, which is much appreciated. And then just from my own research in terms of how to get into the hole on a squat and how to be comfortable there, I know there are things that I need to improve on, because for however many months previously, like I can't even get into deep knee flexion, regardless of whether I've got any weight on my back. So I know there are things I need to improve on. So that's why I've implemented those movements in particular. And what I will say actually is getting to those positions that I'm in now, even after just a few weeks of getting into the more mobile positions with my knees and my hips and my ankles, I'm already seeing some benefits from that. So I would recommend anyone who is a stiff bodybuilder or someone's come from a really stiff background in terms of the sport that you're doing to get stuck into some of these. And wherever I found the information, PT's at the gym, so a good one. But you can find so many mobility routines on YouTube. Knees over toes guy's great. Sonny Webster's great. There's an app called GoWOD as well, which I've gotten involved in, so that's another place you could look. But hope you've enjoyed that or found it helpful, and seeing me in pain is hopefully joyful to some of you. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Let's go.